Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this task and don't ask why. It's not a question but an answer learned in time. It's something unpredictable. I hate when I'm waiting for you guys to jump in and it just never happens. I'm not going to sing the whole goddamn song.
I'm currently working on a cold right now, so I'd be like,
I hope you had the time of your life. There. You did it. Andy,
Truthfully,
take us in.
God dang it. Guys. Okay. Guys, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast, the best dang podcast you heard. Today, my name's Andy.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Ashley.
Hey. And guys, forgive me. I'm fighting a really sore throat right now, so you're going to hear me swallow in pain while we do the podcast today. But lucky for me, Amanda has a sweet setup thing today to talk about. That didn't work. That's not what I
It's all good. You gotta
try it again. Amanda's got a really cool topic to discuss with us today.
Oh.
So we're going to sit and listen to all these cool facts.
Oh, thanks for helping, Ash. That would have been nice earlier.
I'm always here for you, buddy.
I'm gonna tell a story.
Dear Lord. All right, Amanda, what do you got for our fun audience?
All right, so here's the deal. So, you sound so unenthused. What do you fucking got?
Just, just every time I laugh, I'll cough.
I'm sorry.
Every time I swallow,
do you have a
I'm in pain,
lozenge?
No, I'm drinking coffee. I just wanted to soothe it. I'm soothing the throat.
Sweet Thuthie.
Yeah.
I'm soothing it.
So, we're gonna talk today about the religious organization known as Rajneesh Cult. It's an Oregon cult.
Wait, is this whole thing about this one cult?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Like Oregon the state, or like Oregon the body part, or like Oregon the musical instrument?
Oregon.
Or Oregon.
Didn't she just said that's where they're from?
She just said it's an Oregon cult.
Hey, I didn't say Oregon. I said Oregon.
Sorry.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
So you think what she meant was an intestinal cult?
I was clarifying.
You think she meant a clarinet cult?
I was simply creating content. Okay.
Wow.
How dare
She's
you?
like, I need to cut something up for a short.
Andy, I thought you were going to just sit there and listen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
I'm telling the story.
You had me come out of my sickness to ask what the hell you're talking about.
I like how Amanda leaned back really far when she yelled that, so it wasn't like blasting our ears.
Oh, it will be when I get the edit. I'll be like, wow, that was loud.
Well, that was why I laid back a little bit, just so it wasn't so loud.
Okay, all right. So you from Oregon cult.
Oregon.
Rajneesh Hall.
Taj Mahal. Got it.
Did you say
Rodney Hall?
Rodney Hall.
Rajneesh
Rajneeshpuram. So listen, we're going into this. I'm about to pronounce a lot of names that I'm probably going to get wrong.
Yeah.
People, I don't want to hear about it. I'm not talking to you two specifically. I'm talking about the one person who's going to tell me I pronounce shit wrong. Let me tell you, I don't care.
Who says that? Call him out.
I don't know.
I'm
just saying.
Who was it?
I'm just saying. No, actually, no one.
Guy in your car?
You person.
Eric,
I don't want to hear
you.
it.
It's not her fault.
Okay. So there is a Netflix series called Wild Wild Country that talks about a lot of this stuff. So
okay.
Okay, so if you want to just skip this podcast and go watch the
Amanda,
Netflix
you just gave him a call to action to skip the podcast and go watch a Netflix show.
I mean, live your life. This will probably be shorter than that whole series. So
okay,
what's your time worth?
Amanda's gonna bundle it up in a little basket for you.
Yeah, so I'm basically just going to tell you the story. I've got some info, and then I tried to really chronologically do a lot of this. So,
okay. Gotcha.
I do have kind of the what happened to some people afterwards and all that stuff. So, yeah. So this all started with a man named Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh. He was born in 1931. He was an Indian spiritual leader who spoke mostly about individual devotion, mysticism, and sexual freedom. That was like his big thing.
Ooh, it sounds right up my alley.
Honestly, it sounds terrible.
Sounds like Wanderlust.
Yeah, he taught philosophy at the University of Jabalpur in India.
Okay. Okay.
In 1966, he left.
Sorry.
Andy's just
What's
thinking about
happening?
Wanderlust now.
It's just the fucking Paul Rudd scene in Wanderlust.
Yes.
He's like, "With my dick, you gonna put it in yet?" And like, of course, she has to say it, knowing that I'm gonna laugh about it. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, Portnoy Moynihan did what?
Oh my God.
What happened?
Okay, so he taught philosophy at the University of Jabalpur in 1966. You're killing me.
I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. Ash laughed.
Sorry, Jabalpur.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, I
It's
couldn't find a
okay.
phonetic
It's
one
okay.
for it.
All right.
Yeah.
So what happened after Japan floor?
You're killing me. In 1966, he left the university to teach meditation and become a guru. A guru, for people who don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't. It's literally just a fancy word for a spiritual guide.
Okay.
So he essentially taught his followers to live fully in the world without having any attachments. And that's like when I'm really into cults and stuff and I find them fascinating. And that's always the thing that is like the big thing that these cult leaders preach to people is like, no, you should have zero attachments to your family and to your home and to your money and like have no attachments.
Oh, right.
Well, it sounds
right.
ideal, right?
Manipulation.
Yeah. But it's also a way for them to get what you have.
I will also clarify, Amanda's into cults, but not in a cult. So,
I mean, you never know, baby.
No. What is it?
I am
What
not in a
cult
cult.
would you be part of?
I don't know. Probably like dumb Halloween women.
Well, they were not creative with the name. Welcome to Dumb Halloween
I
Women
mean,
Cult.
unfortunately,
Where do
being
I
into
sign
Halloween,
up?
being into Halloween used to just be like a fun character thing. That's like, oh, I love Halloween. Now it's like a niche group of like these people who are just like, I love spooky season, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
I wanted Halloween decor as all year decor before it was cool.
I believe you.
So, okay, so yeah, he tried to teach his followers to have no attachments. He also was very known for having a progressive attitude towards sexuality, telling people to like just do whatever you want with your body, and that caused a lot of negative attention, especially from the other teachers who a lot of these other gurus renounced sex entirely. They said like you don't need it in your life. They were celibate. And so him coming in and basically being like, free love, do what you want, was very, just not okay with like the entire group.
So let me get this straight. Other gurus of other cults or other gurus of the same cult?
So at this point, there is no cult.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm just giving you some background about
Okay. So other
the man
people
himself.
that were also
Other spiritual guides.
right. We're
Yes.
like, yo, bro, settle
not
down.
cool.
Yeah.
Not into it.
Okay. Like
So-
drink break.
1981, it was getting a little problematic for Rajneesh in India. So his name is Rajneesh, and his cult was called Rajneesh Puram.
Got it. Okay.
So,
Okay.
it was getting a little hot under the collar for him. So he decided to invite his followers from all over the world to help him create a community. And he ended up finding, according to him, like the perfect, place for them to be able to build their ideal civilization in Wasco County, Oregon.
Found it right next
So-
to the dunes. I don't know.
Yeah, so they bought a former ranch, and it was 64,000 acres.
Ooh, that's a
And
Dang.
they bought it, and Rajneesh Puram was born. At its height, it had about 7,000 people living just on the ranch.
Wow. Damn.
So the devotees who lived there would work night and day building this new utopia for them. They built a huge meditation center, a hotel, living quarters, almost like dorm rooms, private airport, and a mall with shops, clothing stores, restaurants, and, of course, a store that had videotapes and books, all written by or about the Rajneesh.
Oh, man, this sounds like North Korea, man.
And they created an artificial lake.
Whoa.
So this property was massive.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I found interesting when I was reading this was how they even got zoned to have a private airport. Like an airstrip.
Interesting.
So about 2/3 of the people who lived at Rajneeshpuram had college degrees or had real big adult jobs. And they it is, and that's something that's always fascinated me about cult leaders is the way that they have this magnetism of drawing people in. Mm-hmm. Because, after all these cults and stuff fall apart or crazy shit happens, you're just kind of like, how do people get sucked into this stuff? What are they stupid? But it's they're not. Right. There's just someone who's charismatic enough to convince them that this is the better option for them.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
I've always found that super fascinating. So
I mean, I feel like no matter what your job is or how many degrees you have, you're always I feel like everyone's kind of on a journey of self-discovery.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what your status is, you're still trying to find yourself and your purpose in life and connection to the earth, etc.
I'm not saying that I would get sucked into a cult so much, but imagine being in your early 20s, right? You don't really have kids or anything yet. Maybe you have an okay job, but if somebody came to you, or maybe you do have kids and you're just not happy with the state or the country or whatever, because everything's on fire right now, so nothing's great. Mm-hmm. And if you had someone who you thought was inspiring and he was listen, no pressure, but we're building a society where we're going to be self-sustained and just everyone works together and everyone's equal and, you're welcome to join.
Yeah. I
imagine
I can leave my life behind.
They can spin it, right?
My stressful life behind. Yeah.
Yeah. And just go be a small community member.
Yeah.
I just saw a couple pictures of this city that they had built. There's circus tents up in this thing. And crazy building architecture that it's almost like avant-garde barns that everybody lived in. It's weird, dude. Yeah.
They were able and if you gave enough devotion, meaning money, you could custom build or you could make choices and stuff like that. So people who had more money could custom build their own home or their own areas.
Got it.
So, most of the devotees, I read a lot of interviews that they did. They all said that they believed they had a very personal, deep relationship with the Rajneesh, but none of them had ever met him.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
Sounds familiar.
And so, almost immediately, almost as soon as Rajneesh and his followers started moving in and taking over this huge farm, the residents of the town of Antelope, the town right outside of Rajneeshpuram, had problems with this entire situation. But you also have to understand, a lot of people who don't live in this area, you guys know, but a lot of people think Oregon is just all of it is Portland.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Portland is the minority part of Oregon.
Yeah.
Right.
Oregon is guns and wilderness.
Yeah.
And so the idea that these people who probably were not all white were taking over this large area next to this town, which was a very small rural area, the members of this town probably did not like that.
They're button heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe with one side. Being
So-
more discriminatory than
Well, I
the
mean,
other.
it's kind of the same kind of thing happens when you have an area like that, and then like a big mosque comes to town.
Yes.
And they build that, and then like there's a problem with
Okay,
it.
the fact that she just said that, have you either of you guys seen the who's the actor that plays Borat again?
Sacha Baron.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen has either a new video that came out or one that came out a while ago, where he goes to the town of Kingman,
Oh, I remember that.
which is not too far away from Oregon, right? Or is it in Oregon?
It's in Oregon.
Right? It's in Oregon. And he basically says he's going to come and build a new tourist center for the city, and says that they're going to build, what did you just call it?
A mosque.
A mosque. And the town people that are at the council meeting go freaking nuts, like
Yeah.
angry and racist and discriminatory and evil. And it's like, what's funny is as Amanda's talking about this, I'm like, that's also in Oregon. I wanted to, so, and this is now. I can only
Yes.
imagine what it was like in the 80s, right? So
I'm sure there was some of it, but this is also pre 9/11, so there wasn't like that. I think
Yeah.
there wasn't that connotation on it.
Sure.
But I think that any time you have probably a very small population and then a big group of people with a different skin color
Yep.
come in and start taking over,
As Jason
that's gonna
Aldean
freak
says-
out some old white people.
try that in a small town.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay.
So, the Rajneeshis had filed a permit to be able to run and operate their own post office, and the town of
Okay.
Antelope denied it.
Oh.
So in retaliation, Rajneesh, he had devotees start moving into the town of Antelope.
Oh, I see. Got it.
So in 1982, Antelope held a vote to disincorporate itself to try and keep itself from being taken over by Rajneeshpuram.
Dang.
Because of so many Rajneeshis now living in the town, the vote failed. And Antelope was now incorporated into Rajneeshpuram.
Geez, so all he needed was a post office, and instead he just ate their town.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And so at this point, the Rajneesh didn't speak to his devotees or the public much at all. Sometimes he would kind of like get up on a podium and like say some words, but he wouldn't go speak to individual people.
how did he build such the following? Like just his books and his
His books, and then
his mantra.
like he almost had like missionaries essentially that would
like
go
Yeah.
find.
within the society.
Right.
And so Rajneesh's secretary and head spokesperson, her name was Ma Anand Sheila. She essentially functioned as the leader of this community.
Okay.
So even though he had taken more of a backseat with like daily life, every man and woman at Rajneeshpuram was required to wear a locket with his picture and went by new Indian names he gave them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So each afternoon, they would all line up on the main road to bow, cry, and put flowers all over his Rolls Royce as he was driven by his devotees.
That's what I just saw. I saw pictures of this parade where so that lady that you're talking about who was like the
Sheila.
so yeah, she has to walk next to his car.
Uh-huh.
Like really awkward.
Yeah, it was bulletproof. It was all cut. Yeah.
Wow.
So, now things are about to get a little wild.
I was gonna say now they get wild.
Well, now we're currently just regular cult stuff.
Yeah.
Now things are get to be a little interesting. This is why we're talking about Rajneeshpuram.
I love it. I mean, I don't.
Okay.
Not in that
1983. 1983, Hotel Rajneesh. A hotel that Rajneesh owned in Portland. There was a bombing by an Islamist militant group.
way. Oh, wow.
Next thing we know, Rajneeshis were seen with automatic weapons out on the compound, and that caught the attention of the National Guard.
Dang.
There are lots of legal disputes happening at this time. There are groups of people in Antelope and like the surrounding areas that claimed that the incorporation vote that happened violated the separation of church and state. Other groups claimed that the Rajneeshis violated land use laws because the land was zoned for agricultural use only.
Oh, sure.
And so 1984, Ma Anand Sheila is still like the main spokesperson for the group. She was known for basically fanning the flames of any issue that was happening. She like insisted on handling it herself, and it would just make it worse every time.
Oh, okay.
And she would just increase the tension with the locals, the police, and even like the individual Rajneeshis themselves, like the people.
Oh.
So September 14th, 1985, Sheila and about 20 other higher up people in the Rajneesh cult suddenly leave Rajneeshpuram. A week later, Rajneesh calls a press conference and publicly accuses Sheila and the rest of that group of people of committing crimes outside of Rajneeshpuram.
Wow.
So the investigation that followed was one of the largest in Oregon history.
Dang.
You want to know what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. 1984. Sheila and other Rajneeshpuram devotees went to multiple restaurants in Wasco County and poisoned the salad bars with salmonella.
Whoa.
Basically, they wanted to stop locals from being able to vote in local elections so their own candidates could win seats on the Wasco County board.
That's crazy.
751 people got sick. 45 were hospitalized. No one died. But it's still regarded as one of the largest bio-warfare attacks in U.S. history.
Wow. Shit. That's
Dang.
pretty intense to try to win an election.
Wild.
Right?
1985. The Planning Department office of Wasco County, which had files of most of the disputes with the Rajneeshis, was conveniently set on fire in the middle of the night.
Oh.
The office was completely was destroyed, and about half of the county's files were completely destroyed.
Jeez.
The Rajneeshis, yeah, they had a plot to basically kill any higher ups who publicly disagreed with the Rajneeshis. Most and higher ups meaning like U.S. government officials.
Oh, okay.
The most notably on the hit list were the Portland U.S. State Attorney and the Oregon Attorney General.
Damn.
Hold on, I need a beverage.
Okay. 'Tis speech time.
Well, I've been talking all day, and now I'm talking. Still,
And talking cults.
where am I? Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
So they tried to kill a bunch of senators and shit.
Attorney General. During the investigation, it also came out that they committed voter fraud by busing thousands of homeless people into Rajneeshpuram and the surrounding communities throughout Wasco County. So they basically promised them, these homeless people, food and shelter for a period of time if they would falsely register to vote and vote in favor of the Rajneeshis.
Dang.
Wow.
So obviously this was all real bad for the Rajneeshis, and the commune of Rajneeshpuram officially closed the fall of 1985.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Rajneesh himself, the big guy,
Yeah.
he was accused of immigration violations, and he entered an Alford plea. An Alford plea, sorry, I have really tiny writing right here that I did to myself, which I regret. An Alford plea is technically it's a guilty plea, but they don't admit to the crime, but they acknowledge that the evidence would be enough for them to be found guilty.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's
Seems
rarely
like such a loophole.
Yeah.
it's rarely accepted. There's also this famous case. It's called the staircase of a man who was accused of killing his wife in their home.
I heard about
and
that.
he also entered the Alford plea. I believe his name is, I want to say Scott Peterson, but I don't know if it is. But that case, hold on. Now I got to look up what his fucking name is.
Yeah. I think there's a documentary on that. I think it's Netflix called The Staircase.
Yes.
And I think
Michael
I watched
Peterson.
like the first episode.
Okay.
I don't think I dug real deep
So-
into it, but
That series is very, very slow. But so the staircase follows, the story of a man named Michael Peterson, and his wife died in the home. And there's a lot of curious things about the case. And if you're into true crime, or even if you're just like interested in it, that case is wild. There are documentaries about it, and there's a lot of stuff about the staircase. There's even there's a bird feather that they find, and there's people saying that like a bird got into the house and knocked her down the stairs. Wild. So anywho, he famously pled with an Alford plea. So
Okay.
which is wild in a murder case.
Yeah.
You're like, I acknowledge that there's enough evidence to put me away, but I'm still saying I didn't do it.
Wait, so I missed the murder part. When did the murder happen?
I'm talking about this random man. That's a totally different thing.
Oh, you're talking about the staircase
There's no
stuff.
murder
Yes.
in the cult.
Okay, just
Yet.
want to. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm with it now.
You know
I'm
me.
with it.
You know
This
me.
is
I
an
like a
immigration
tangent.
No, that's fine. Okay, staircase was
So,
the murder thing, but this one was all of the crap that his other people did. Yeah.
Yes. So the Rajneesh, after being accused, I think they got him on immigration violations just to get him,
Sure.
Yeah.
and then they were probably figuring out whatever the hell else was going on.
Right.
So immigration violations. He entered the Alford plea, and he left the U.S. and went back to India.
Okay.
Sheila had fled to Germany, where she was extradited back to the U.S., and she was charged with attempted murder, assault, wiretapping, arson, immigration fraud, and for the part she played in the bioterror attack.
Dang.
Wow.
Incredible.
So there's not too much left. So basically, Rajneesh went back to India, where he died in 1990, pretty uneventfully. He went back to India and was pretty much ostracized by the entire community. He had some followers, but really, he pretty much just kind of seemed to somewhat wash his hands of it. But, he still was selling those videotapes and books and shit. So Sheila pled guilty, and she was sentenced to 4.5 years but she was released on good behavior after only 29 months. She moved to Switzerland, where she got married and bought 2 nursing homes and is still alive.
Wow.
Wow. What's going on in those nursing homes, I wonder?
Yeah.
Yeah, who fucking knows?
Right.
So,
Sheesh.
basically, in the 90s, as soon as the Rajneesh went back to India, the whole town of Rajneeshpuram, a lot of people pretty much just left and abandoned it, and it was in disrepair. And basically, in the 90s, it reverted back to the ownership. It reverted to ownership by the state of Oregon.
Okay. Yep.
And then I don't exactly have the year, but basically, the state of Oregon sold the land to a Montana billionaire named Dennis Washington. 1991. And he donated it to a Christian parachurch organization.
Oh my God.
Many of the structures still remain on the site, like the
That's
stuff that they
crazy.
built.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Christian youth camp.
Oh, if they
Yeah.
would have known what went on in those buildings.
Well, they probably do now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Smells
I mean,
in
one
here.
thing.
They probably do
One
now
thing
because
that-
they're listening to this podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Oh God! Don't come after me.
Lots of Christian youth listen to this podcast.
Oh God. One thing that I thought was really interesting was like, a lot of people don't really talk too much. Like, obviously you can find information about it, but like, a lot of these cults come out and you hear about like a lot of underage
Yeah.
stuff. And obviously there's always going to be stuff that you hear about, but it's interesting because it sounds like there was some questionable shit happening, but it wasn't like the main point of the church to like have underage girls be abused. But do you remember
Enhance. Enhance.
You're gonna keep saying it.
Enhance. That's all I can. I'm trying to keep some time.
Sorry, I'm looking something up.
I have to say, in the meantime, nobody could start a cult besides a narcissist.
Yeah, that's
Like-
fair. That's fair. You
Oh,
have to
absolutely.
really-
So full of himself.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, how
But-
long did this cult go till? It was like 81 to 85 or something you said? Only 5 years or less than that?
Yeah, I mean the actual Rajneesh Puram was only like around for 10 years.
Yeah,
Like the
that's
physical
not
property.
a whole lot, like a lot of time. Also, I didn't hear you say they drank a bunch of Kool-Aid and passed off to the underworld together
No.
or anything like that. I do wonder though, like his teachings obviously weren't so extreme that you had crazy people, I guess.
That's the other thing I was gonna say is
But like,
it didn't seem when you started talking about him like everything was, like you said, extreme.
yeah,
But this Sheila lady,
she took
started
it.
doing some extreme
Yeah,
crap.
she took it to 11. It sounds like to me.
And it's like, was he the one like telling her to do this? Was she like going off on her own and being like, I'm gonna build this empire for him?
Well,
like,
and that's the thing, right? Charlie Manson, same thing, right?
Right.
He, with his followers and stuff, he's the one that told them to go out and do these heinous acts. But in this story, it sounds like he was not as like dictator. It sounded like he was more like peace, love, and
I'm gonna sit back and
more love and
take
lots
your
of love.
money.
Just love each other and give me money. Yeah, and she was like, "This is the way." Yeah, right. That's crazy though that it was not that far away from where we grew up.
Yeah, that's what I always thought was really interesting was
Yeah,
like
I never heard about it at all.
yeah, I'm not sure,
that's
but
because
it's wild.
this stuff wasn't in the news until O.J. Simpson.
Because O.J. Simpson started the media craze of
Yeah.
of celebrity murderers and chaos.
Right, and like needing to know about anything and everything that goes on in the country. Like,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess when I was growing up, there wasn't much talk about anything globally. As you know, I mean,
But well, there wasn't like the catastrophizing and the
yeah,
like
that's true.
24-hour
Yeah,
like news service
coverage.
about all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically like when everything at the ranch like just ended, people were basically just told to leave. Like they just left.
Yeah, because what else would you do? Like at this point, who are you worshiping? He's gone.
Well, and that's the thing is like I remember reading this article by this kid who grew up in the cult. He was like 5 or 6 when his mom and him like they all moved to Rajneesh Puram.
Yeah.
And they basically asked like, how did you adjust after the cult? And he basically was like, we left in the middle of the night with $25.
Wow.
And he's like, we had nothing.
That's crazy.
And, you know, like it was wild.
Well, I always imagine with these cults, though, that families are still out there, right? Just because you go to a cult doesn't mean your mom and dad still don't live in, you know, Eugene, Oregon somewhere. And
Yeah.
you just decided to go live in this compound. So when you come back, there's probably a lot of like de-acclimation or acclimation if you were confused as it is. But I mean, these people, like, it's not like they didn't have homes to go to.
Maybe.
I mean, other than the homeless people that they brought in to do votes.
But you legit have no job. You have 10 years of like no work experience. You have
Yeah, that's
nothing-
true. You're
Nothing
right.
to your name.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I mean, I
you
can't-
also literally followed a cult for the last 10 years. So how do you like,
Can't put that on the resume.
right?
Well, and that's the thing is like
Like, do you come to your wits at the end and be like, what was I thinking?
I imagine some people are like that, but also indoctrination is a crazy thing.
Right?
It's a crazy thing. You know?
yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's wild. Like I think that the idea that they were trying to take over. Like that the fact that they came in, they wanted to have this cult, like, hey, look, whatever. But then they slowly started taking over this town and like having the people move into the town so they could start voting. And then I'm like, it wouldn't have ended there.
Right.
Like they would have just kept spreading and spreading. Like that's wild to me.
If they're literally like okay with like poisoning people, attempting to kill them, like burning
it
buildings.
would have turned into extremism.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. I mean, that already is, to be honest.
Yeah, it's bananas. Like, and so yeah, Wild Wild Country is a crazy documentary. I mean, it's so good.
You've seen the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I like to be on my phone or crochet while I watch things, so I'm sure I miss shit. But
Yeah.
it's very good. I would say that it's not like as bingeable as Tiger King, but it's very good. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I part of me was concerned that it was like a scripted series, but it's not. It's like a documentary series, and it's got 6 episodes. So, I mean, it's not too crazy.
Fucking
like,
Carol Baskins.
Yeah.
I don't know, the fact that they, like, I remember I had heard about this case a long time ago. I knew that there was a cult and all this stuff. And then I was looking into it, and like the whole like poisoning the salad bar thing, at first I was like, what?
Yeah. Right.
But then I was like, oh my God, like that's so wild. Like, and I'm like, how did they even get the salmonella?
That's what I was
like,
thinking.
Yeah.
Like you have like a sample in a vial. Like did you rub chicken all over it?
That's
like,
what I was thinking, that they just grabbed a bunch of raw chicken and they just like squeezed it out and then just threw the juices on the salad.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was my thing, was like, what? I was like, what did they poison? Like, what exactly? The chocolate pudding?
Let's taste chickeny.
Get the croutons.
Well, because hypothetically, right? Let's say it was chicken juice, which is disgusting. That's disgusting. If it was that, like, that has a flavor, like,
Yeah.
and so maybe you mix it into like the ranch or something.
Ew.
Wild. I already don't like a salad bar, so definitely not doing it anymore.
Well, the
Excuse
fact
me,
that
do
we
you have any
can't-
Rajneesh dressing?
The fact that we collectively cannot figure out how to poison a salad bar with salmonella, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, don't worry, guys.
mean,
the real
valid.
awkward cult will never poison your salad bar.
I mean, maybe.
We got you.
Are there still salad bars?
Hells
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
dude. You've got one right next to you. You just drive to Round Table's got a salad bar in Mount Vernon.
Oh, Alfie's.
Alfie's got a salad bar, so you know where you can poison.
Alfie's.
You know where you can poison the
Well,
salad.
that wouldn't work because nobody eats at Alfie's.
Ouch. Sorry, Alfie's.
Not very high
I'm
success
sorry.
rate there.
I'm sorry. Alfie's was like the pizza that we would always get when you'd
Yeah.
like high school, like school stuff, or like after a sporting thing,
Yeah,
like
not anymore, huh?
fucking Alfie's.
So wait, so Amanda, you said you're a culty person. How
Yes.
many other cults are there that have this type of history? Should you do a cult series?
Ma'am, let me tell you.
Ooh.
Some cult
Okay.
classics.
Yeah.
So there is the Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate cult was in California.
Is that the Kool-Aid?
Was no.
Oh.
The Heaven's Gate was this cult run by this guy, and he was like this cue ball bald guy, and he thought that they were going to ascend up into space, and so they all drank or took pills or whatever. But
The Kool-Aid.
no, I will get to the Kool-Aid.
Wait, no, not the actual Kool-Aid, but the people that were all dead all at the
I
same
will get-
time.
I
That's a
will get
different.
th-
Oh,
Yes.
you're telling me it's a different
I'll get
cult.
there.
Jeez,
Yes,
so many cults.
My mind right now is a bulleted list of cults to tell you
Okay,
about.
all right, hit me,
Okay.
hit me. I'm going silent.
Heaven's Gate, they are kind of like known for their leader. I don't remember what his name was, and he made like a video, and all the devotees would watch this video, and they all decided to ascend, and they were all wearing the same like crushed velvet, like indigo colored Adidas tracksuit, and these certain like Nikes or like maybe not Nikes, but it's they were like an athletic shoe that had like just come out. They all had the same outfits on. And then when word came out of what happened to them, because they were all found dead in this huge house, the shoe sales plummeted.
Oh no. Whoops.
And then the Jonestown massacre is what you're talking about. So Jim
Okay.
Jones was a cult leader in some Central America, there was some country. I don't remember. Don't come after me. And basically, like the FBI, the FD, like the guns one.
FDA?
No.
FDA, that's food and drugs.
Oh, sorry. The guns and tobacco.
DEA.
Yeah.
Like, they were all involved because there was like underage sex happening and
got it.
weapons and all kinds of shit. And so Jim Jones felt that everything was kind of closing in on him, and they were all told that they had to drink this Kool-Aid and they would all be saved.
That's crazy.
And so people were being force-fed the Kool-Aid.
Dang.
And a lot of those people who died did not do it willingly. A lot of them did. A lot of them did.
Sure.
And the images from that are horrible.
Is that where the
Like-
phrase comes from? Drink the Kool-Aid?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And it actually wasn't even Kool-Aid. It was Flavor Aid, which is like the knockoff Kool-Aid.
Oh man, you couldn't even die with real Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Come on, it's like
And
37
then-
cents for
Oh
a pouch of that.
no.
Yes. And then
Enhance.
so then the last kind of like really popular, I hate to say the word popular,
Well-known.
but the well-known kind of cult thing happened in the 90s. There in Waco, Texas, David Koresh was the leader of a group of people called the Branch Davidians, and basically they were stockpiling weapons, and there was reports of underage girls being sexually assaulted and stuff like that. And they basically holed up in this like little town churchy thing, and the National Guard and stuff got involved, and basically he was saying, leave us alone. They were saying we can't do that. There was like a huge standoff, and essentially the police or the National Guard or whatever went in, and chaos ensued, and a ton of people died.
Dang.
Because they started shooting themselves. They started being shot at. They started shooting the National Guard, and a lot of people died that didn't have to die.
Amanda, did you ever play Far Cry 5?
No.
Oh, you would love it. So it's basically about a cult leader that just goes crazy, spiritual cult leader, and he gets all these followers, and he has like a brother, a sister, and I think somebody else who are all like his commanders. And your job is to go into these towns and liberate them from this like crazy religious cult leaders. And it is a great game.
Oh, this is the America one.
It is fantastic. Far
Yeah.
Cry 5 is awesome. You got to
Wow,
play
yeah.
it. You got to play it. I know it's first person shooter, but you got to play it. I think you'd like it a lot.
Yeah, the last Far Cry I played, I think was Far Cry 3, where it's like, do you know the definition of insanity?
Oh yeah, isn't that like a not South America? I forget where that
Like
one
it's
is.
like
but-
it's like Central America.
yeah, Central America. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember the picture of this now. It's like the
Guy sitting on the
The-
beach.
it's the Far Cry 5,
Oh, 5,
the
yeah.
image of it, it's like the Final Supper.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yep. It's it's a great game, especially if you just want to kill a bunch of cult leaders and followers.
so
Awesome.
there is a movie called Red State,
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
and it's essentially like a cult movie where it's banana. It is like intense.
Yeah.
And so it's a couple teenagers. They meet a girl online, and she says she wants to basically like have sex with all of them at the same time. And so being horny teenagers, like they're like, absolutely, where can we meet you
Where's
today?
The bedroom, yeah.
So it's actually like a trap, and they get taken in by this. They get kidnapped, and there's this crazy preacher guy, and it's basically like he's so crazy that like even neo-Nazis like leave them alone.
Oh, got it.
And he's basically going to kill them for being sinners.
Oh, interesting. It is.
It's
when did this
wild.
come out?
2011. It's a Kevin Smith movie.
Oh.
And John Goodman is in it.
Ooh, we talked about John
Hated
Goodman.
John
Good.
Hated John Goodman. If you want to know what other movies John Goodman is in.
I need to watch
But it's
that.
got it's the teenage kids. I recognize 2 of the 3.
Okay,
Like you
okay.
would recognize them.
Yeah, sure.
And it's definitely a movie that's like sort of held on in like the kind of fucked up movie stratosphere.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
It's bananas. It's wild.
That's bananas.
And did Kevin Smith direct it?
Yeah.
Wow.
You said, when did you say
2011.
Sorry, 2011.
I didn't think he directed it. Wild.
Ash, what's your favorite cult?
I couldn't name one off the top of my head, to be honest.
All right.
Oh, wow. Kevin Smith also wrote it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
He does such a variety.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
No, I mean, it's definitely one that's worth watching. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
All right.
But
Ain't nothing like a fucked up movie.
no, it was good. It was interesting. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if you guys want to like know more about cults, like, I mean, I can always tell you more.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you guys like Amanda running down the cult train, let us know and we'll do some more episodes like this that she talks about crazy cults.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I can definitely, I mean, there might be some that I don't go into great detail, or some that I might kind of skim over some horrible stuff, because I don't want to research like
of course,
all these women who were raped and stuff.
Yeah,
like I don't need to do a deep dive on that.
That's always hard. Yeah, that's always hard.
I can just say like sexual assault and we will move on.
No, I get it for sure.
But I mean, you know me, I love true crime. I could talk about the Manson family.
Ooh.
I would love to do a deeper dive on the Branch Davidians with David Koresh, because that man was bananas.
I mean, I'd be interested into it. How about you, Ash? You down for some more cult?
Yeah, honestly, like as we're like talking about this, I keep having these visions in my head of like something that I've seen, like a movie that I've seen about a cult, and I cannot for the life of me like put together what it was.
Well, there's Nick Cage and the I keep wanting to say Burning
The Wicker Man.
Wicker Man. Burning Man.
I don't think I've seen that.
Burning Man.
Because he goes and he kills a bunch of cult people. Punches them in the face.
I mean, no, I mean the cult stuff's crazy, dude.
Also, what The Village? That was cult. That was a cult movie.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they're in a cult. They're not letting their people out and don't tell them the truth and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess it boils down to be a cult, but I think it's more people.
They told them a lie that kept everybody into this one spot and continued to force feed them these fantasies. And
yeah, but nobody was being. I guess.
Well, you don't necessarily have to have a cult just because you joined after the fact of being.
I guess I would say it's not a cult.
It's
film.
a not cult movie.
But
Okay.
no, I mean, The Village is good.
I like The Village. Some people hate The Village. I thought it was great.
I
thought it was a fun take.
I think the people who don't like The Village think it's slow, because it is slow.
Yeah, it's slow.
But I think they don't understand.
Yeah, they're like, what? Airplane?
Same with people who didn't like Law Abiding Citizen.
Yeah.
You didn't get it.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I get it that they didn't get it. That's
Yeah.
a good movie.
That
that's
movie,
a deep cut.
I don't know why I was thinking
Yeah.
about that,
No,
but
it's a good movie.
I love that movie.
Gerard
Yeah.
Butler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx. Awesome, Amanda. Thank you for running down the cult.
Yeah.
I think my coffee and my
Yeah.
aspirin have finally kicked in so that my throat stopped hurting.
Oh, goody.
Intensely, but
Oh, take it back.
take it back. I just tried to swallow and it hurt. Ash,
yeah.
close us out.
Amanda, where can people find us if they want to tell us about their favorite cult?
Okay, if you're in a cult and
Then
you
we
want
should
to
join
tell me about
immediately.
it, come to our Instagram at Real Awkward Podcast. We also have a TikTok at Real Awkward Podcast. We also have a Patreon, $3 a month, get you exclusive episodes, and that is it.
Pay to John Goodman.
I don't know.
Pay to John.
Pay to John Goodman.
Oh yes. Also on this, I'm going to say it now. The Patreon is going to have exclusive episodes that we're going to be calling the Real Awkward Podcast, where we talk about stuff that's really intense, like
Got it.
camping
Or
and
just
stuff.
real.
Or just real. Just getting real
Got
with
it.
people.
Just getting real. Just
Real
showing
life.
Our real selves.
Some real
you know?
life stuff. So
None
you
of this
get
show.
Yeah. We're all characters right now. Just wait till we get real.
Yeah,
Real
I'm
awkward
acting. This
partner.
isn't even me. This is nothing about what I'm like.
So if you'd like to enjoy that, just get past the paywall and you can listen to that stuff.
Input your little credit card number and
Just
you
slide
can
that,
take it in.
baby. Slide that. Papa needs a new microphone.
Oh my god.
No, we don't.
No, we're still using our $10 microphones
They're
from
great.
Target.
They're great.
You know what? Don't knock them because they've worked for us for this
I know
long.
I'm going to knock on it. Knock on wood. Make sure it doesn't go away.
Knock on something.
All right. Nobody's lasted this long, so we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye bye.
Bye.